bet you didn't know a cadet could be accused of a century-old war crime until the footage showed him. He thought he was just a cadet until the war crime footage showed him. The Grand Chamber of Xylos was silent, heavy with judgment. Humanity stood accused, Earth itself on trial for war crimes, deception, aggression, forbidden weaponry. Elias Vance, a young cadet, sat in the observer's seat, representing humanity's future. Its calm face betrayed nothing as Lyra, the crystalline prosecutor, projected damning evidence. Footage from a century-old conflict flickered, cities on Cygnus X1 reduced to dust, starships raining fire on a fledgling world. The footage froze on a soldier's face, Elias Vance. The chamber erupted in psychic disbelief. But Elias was born in 2505, 80 years after the war. The trial of a species had become the trial of one young man. Delegates from 1,000 worlds watched, trusting humanity crumble. The chamber's focus narrowed to the cadet, an impossible figure in the center of a galactic reckoning. The Justicars prepared to question the impossible. The air was thick with fear and anticipation. The chamber's silence was broken only by the weight of accusation. The trial had only just begun, and the secret of humanity was about to be revealed. The Grand Chamber's ceiling was a living star map, constellations shifting above a jury of 1,000 species. Beings of light, silicon, and thought sat in judgment, their collective gaze fixed on Elias Vance. Suspicion radiated from every corner, victims of human expansion, seekers of truth, all united in doubt. Humanity, once the ambitious newcomer, now faced the consequences of its past. The atmosphere was not hatred, but profound disappointment. The evidence suggested humanity had plagued by its own demons. Elias sat silent, a paradox no one could explain. The Justicars, ancient and inscrutable, weighed not just a boy or a species, but the stability of the galactic order. Every delegate wondered, was Elias a pawn, a victim, or the key to a conspiracy that would shatter the galaxy? The chamber's silence was heavy with questions. The fate of humanity rested on the impossible truth of a boy who should not exist. The galaxy watched, waiting for the next revelation. The trial pressed on, the stakes higher than ever. Lyra let the image of the soldier linger, then played the full, brutal clip. The chamber was forced to witness. Cities of light crumbled, oceans boiled, and human soldiers moved through the ruins, efficient, merciless, faces hidden. The Cygnian people were wiped out, a footnote in human history, now victims demanding justice. The footage showed Elias Vance, older, hardened, giving orders on a battlefield of fire and shadow. The drone's feed cut to black, the soldier's face burned into memory. The reaction was visceral, disgust, fear, and disbelief. How could a species commit such acts, then send a perfect copy of its butcher to sit among its victims? Was it a threat and insult, or a sign of something even darker? The footage did more than accuse, it planted terror. If humanity could do this, what else were they capable of? The past was alive, sitting in the observer's chair. The delegates' trust in humanity shattered. The chamber's wound shifted from judgment to fear. The galaxy realized humanity's secrets ran deeper than anyone imagined. The trial was no longer about history, it was about the future. Elias Vance became the embodiment of a nightmare. The chamber braced for answers that might never come. The shadow of war hung over all. The image was undeniable. Biometric scans confirmed it. Elias Vance. The Justicars turned to him. You appear in evidence recorded 80 years before your birth, explained. Elias stood, voice steady but confused. I was born on Triton, 2505. I've never been to Cygnus X1. I'm a cadet, that's all I know. Was he lying or telling his truth? Lyra scoffed. A convenient lack of memory. Does humanity expect us to believe in ghosts? Human ambassador objected. We have no record of this soldier, no explanation for this paradox. The court refused delay. Doubt grew into suspicion. Delegates whispered, time travel, cloning, or something worse. Was humanity rewriting history or creating perfect duplicates? Theories spiraled, each more terrifying. Humanity was no longer just a defendant, but a legend of monsters. The key was a confused young man who claimed to be nothing more than a farmer's son. The chamber's fear deepened, the trial's focus shock. The galaxy demanded answers. Elias Vance stood at the center of a storm. The truth, whatever it was, threatened to upend everything. The Justicas pressed for the impossible. Humanity's secrets were on the verge of exposure. The chamber waited, breathless. The court denied a recess. The focus shifted. Who or what is Elias Vance? Xenopsychologists scanned his mind. No deception, no tampering. He believed he was a 20-year-old cadet. Theories erupted: time travel, memory wipes, cloning. Could humanity edit the past or create perfect replicas with false lives? The implications were staggering. Every treaty, every record cast into doubt. Was Elias a sleeper agent, a living weapon, or an innocent pawn? His composure cracked, his hands trembled. Imagine learning your life might be a lie, your memories fabricated. Elias was dissected, debated, no longer a person but a specimen. The galaxy's fear of humanity grew with every new theory. The chamber's tension mounted. The truth seemed further away than ever. Elias Vance was at the heart of a crisis of identity. The galaxy's trust in humanity was unraveling. Under psychic probing, something inside Elias Vance broke. Memories surfaced, a cry of horror, a scientist's voice. Project Chimera is active. Your new life is waiting. He collapsed, screaming as the truth emerged. There was no time travel, no traditional cloning. Project Chimera elite soldiers placed in cryogenic stasis. Their memories wiped, new identities implanted. The soldier in the footage was the original Elias Vance, a war hero, a killer. When awakened, his past was erased, a new life created. He could be anyone, a neighbor, a doctor, a cadet, sleeper agents who didn't know they were asleep. Elias was not a copy, but the original, over a century old, mind imprisoned by his own people. Victim and weapon, proof of humanity's ingenuity and moral ambiguity. The revelation stunned the chamber. The trial was no longer about war, but about the nature of humanity. A species willing to sacrifice its own identity for survival. The galaxy recoiled at the audacity and the horror of Project Chimera. Elias Vance became the living symbol of humanity's darkest secret. The chamber fell silent, shaken to its core. The trial's meaning had changed forever. The galaxy now questioned not just humanity's actions, but its very soul. Elias stood as the ultimate paradox. The world would never see humans the same way again. News of Project Chimera spread like wildfire. The trial became the most watched event in galactic history. Billions reacted with fear, outrage, and fascination. Protests erupted. Suspicion of every human grew. Some saw humanity as monsters, others as geniuses. Military leaders studied the revelations with horror and awe. Humanity had created the perfect, unknowing soldier. The galaxy was divided, threat or marvel. Elias Vance became a symbol, victim to some, weapon to others. He was no longer just a man, but a mirror for the galaxy's fears. The debate raged. Could humanity ever be trusted again? The shadow of Project Chimera loomed over every world. The galaxy's view of humanity was changed forever. The trial reached an impasse. The original war crime seemed trivial next to Project Chimera. How do you judge a crime hidden even from its perpetrators? The Justicas deliberated, unable to render a verdict. The crimes are proven, the methods are revealed, but Cadet Vance is both perpetrator and victim, a paradox we cannot resolve. To punish him was unjust, to release him a risk. The trial was suspended indefinitely. Elias was remanded to Concord custody, studied, protected, feared. He became a living exhibit, humanity's secret. The court's non-decision was its own verdict. Humanity was too dangerous to trust, too complex to judge. The galaxy would watch, wait, and wonder. Elias Vance's fate was left unresolved. The stain on humanity's record would never fade. The world moved forward, forever changed. No answers, only more questions. Elias Vance became a ghost in the galactic system, his true self locked away. His story warned the cosmos about humanity's nature. We are builders and dreamers, but we carry a deep shadow. Project Chimera changed our place in the universe. Now, we are seen as a force of nature, brilliant but dangerous. Our drive to survive is our strength and our flaw. We break laws, bend morality, sacrifice identity for progress. The galaxy now doubts every human, wonders what other secrets we hide. Elias Vance is the price of our ambition, a secret we can't keep. His existence is a message. Humanity can create wonders or monsters. The difference is not always clear. The story continues, haunted by the ghost of Elias Vance. The universe will never look at us the same way again. Subscribe, like, and share.